Today on X-Play. The very best for the GameCube. Kill a Spaniard. It's game time. Ever singing, ever dancing, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Hello and welcome to X-Play.
Over the past couple of days, we've been saying goodbye to the current generation of consoles.
In only a few months, our brain's pleasure centers will be exploding with the undiluted joy of the Nintendo Wii.
I have it on good authority that the Wii is powered by candy and the laughter of Japanese children.
Ooh. So our trip now concludes with our list of the best games for the GameCube.
Oh, the gentle cube. On the outside, a simple purple lunchbox. But on the inside, the heart of a lion.
A lion that loves rescuing princesses, maintaining happy Japanese farms, and shooting Spanish peasants in the head.
We're here to let you know which games you'd be stupid not to own.
We wanted to give you the top square root of the 14 games for the GameCube. Yeah. The guys at the corporate office said we had to pick an integer.
Corporate never understands math jokes.
So, to make everything simple, let's start with the 10th best game ever released for the GameCube. Coming in at number 10 is an old friend.
Souls and swords, eternally retold.
A worthy opponent. A son of a... Soul Calibur 2, when released, was touted by some as the greatest fighter of its time. With an improved step guard system and a blistering bouquet of sense-banishing special moves, the second coming of the Soul was truly the game to beat. The graphics, environments, and 3D quality of the title also received a substantial upgrade, making fighting more vertiginous and eye-catching than ever. Weapons Master Mode enhanced Soul Edge's original Edge Master Mode, creating an awesome depth in terms of raising the rank and experience points of your character. Another float in Soul Calibur 2's parade was the inclusion of new characters. Link, clearly all grown up, brought his own unique approach to combat within the digit-dissolving arena of Soul Calibur 2. Number 9 is the cel-shaded blitzkrieg of imaginative enemies, soaring environments, and rigorous challenge. Beautiful Joe traces the adventure of a kid who loves the Japanese action films of some Azul dude named Captain Blue. Joe's powers are really what set this title apart from other 2D fighters. One of Joe's abilities is to slow things down, reducing the murderous velocity of your adversary's onslaught, making them easier to render into a fine mincemeat product. These powers naturally deprive his personal budget and will quit at the darndest times unless strategically triggered. Environments press against their 2D boundaries, delivering a claustrophobic battle space with plenty of opportunities for evasion, creating depth where at first you may see none. Destructible environments yielded all a Joe could ask for. Bosses, traps, and a variety of maniacal cannon fodder are so plentiful that the game almost becomes a genre in itself.
Cut! So, you have come to return my book.
Number 8 was so far ahead of its time and temporal space that some people possessed by its content could still be playing it. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, plays homage to the dark, macabre gothic of H.P. Lovecraft, where the familiar and normal can be instantly rendered into unfamiliar horror and jaw-dislocating madness.
Hello?
Remember me, Alex.
Sound design alone was enough for the title to transport you to another place, a terrible place, and yet a space so immersive and horribly satisfying. You'll game as a variety of cursed characters in search of truth and consequence. The cool thing about the title is doing away with the chains of time and navigating the folds of history through secret, timeless sanctums of insanity. A sanity meter kept track of the ebb and flow of what a human could endure. When it became low, odd tricks were played on you. Nothing could be trusted, and even your gaming world could be assaulted. Truly an immersive form of madness.
Eternal Darkness is noteworthy not only because it's a mature, dark game for the GameCube, but also because the developers, Silicon Knights, are Canadians.
And Canada is barely a country. It's more like an Elks Club with the vote of the United Nations.
Yeah. And speaking of things that just don't quite make the cut, we can't show you the best GameCube games of all time without paying our respects to the less successful offerings on the platform.
So, here's our look at some of the worst games for the Cube.
Worst game based on a worst movie, Charlie's Angels.
Good morning, Angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
Let's face it, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle was awful.
Break it down, Boz.
But even with our expectations lowered by the film, we still can't believe how bad this game is. You can play as one of the film's 3 stars, Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, or the attractive one. Of course, you're not so much controlling the star as you are their creepy-looking computer-generated doppelganger.
You go, Alex.
And what the hell is sticking out of Drew Barrymore's pants? Just what is this game rated anyway? See you later, Angels.
After the break on X-Play, the countdown continues. They love to trade with other villages. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. We're bidding farewell to the current generation of video games with our list of the 10 best games on the Nintendo GameCube.
Now, before the break, we showed you our pick for number 8. So, for the sake of continuity, let's just continue with our choice for the 7th best game for the GameCube.
At number 7 on the best of the GameCube is a game for the animal lover in all of us. I mean the real, true, honest-to-goodness animal lover. No, not that kind of animal lover. The animal lover that just wants to walk with the animals, talk with the animals, and live with the animals. That's where Animal Crossing comes in. Think The Sims, but with animal-human hybrids, straight out of H.G. Wells, but not the whole Dr. Moreau thing. You can do anything you want in Animal Crossing. It's open-ended. You want to fish? Well, fish, damn you, fish! You want to dig up old fossils? Go ahead. Maybe you'll find Jimmy Hoffa, or a really old dinosaur. But enough about Madonna.
I haven't been a virgin in like 55 years.
Animal Crossing takes place in real time. Hours go by, months go by, things change. Like at the beginning, you might live someplace similar to my bachelor pad. Over time, if you take on the odd job and help out your little fellow villagers, you just might get a swanky new place like this. Smooth. Which for no reason brings us to number 6, Super Mario Sunshine. Oh, Mario, so innocent, so sweet, so mustached. The plumber just wants a vacation, good weather, good friends, good time. And with Princess Peach along for the ride, maybe this will be the perfect time for Mario to finally pop the question. And as happens every day with Mario, Peach gets kidnapped, and Mario has to save the day. But this time he's got a super soaker, or flood, if you will. This allows Mario to spray his fluids wherever his fluids need spraying. All this for his sweet Princess Peach. Mario can go all over this vacation paradise doing that Mario thing. The jumping, the swimming, the spraying. But it's not for Peach Mario does this. Oh no, it's for the shine. The elusive shine. Shine, which is more important to Mario than Peach ever will be. Typical plumber. But Peach can get a revenge in the next game at number 5, Super Smash Bros. Melee. We can pretend to get all highbrow and discuss the wonderful mechanics of the game, how easy it is to figure out. We can hype up how you can play with all those Nintendo characters you love so much. If they signed a lifetime Nintendo contract in their day, they show up here. There's Link, who has more female issues in his life than Mario ever could. And of course, Pokemon, who just has issues. But really, it's all about kicking Nintendo character ass. So, if you want to recreate the Ike and Tina Turner review, check out Peach and Mario. Ooh, that's in bad taste. And the Nintendo Melee-ness continues. Anytime, any place, anywhere. That's what Super Smash Bros. Melee brings to the table. And that's why it's at number 5.
Smash Brothers really emphasizes that Nintendo is a wall of franchise. A big part of the fun is working to unlock characters like Pichu, Luigi, and a Ganondorf.
To try to bring this quality video gaming fun to you, the home viewer, we'd like to let you know that X-Play will now have unlockable hosts, including, but not limited to, Kevin Pereira, Gates McFadden, and WWE star Chris Jericho.
But we're not telling you how to unlock them, and our contract with Gates McFadden is written on the back of a cocktail napkin, so it may not be enforceable.
Good luck!
Worst named game. Tube Slider.
Okay, we'll be honest. Tube Slider is not a terrible game. It is, however, a terrible name. It really makes us here at X-Play wonder, if Tube Slider is the name they chose for this futuristic racer, what were the ideas that got rejected? How about Cream Racer, or Pickle Derby, or Stroke Spurt Alpha? Okay, now that I think about it, maybe Tube Slider isn't such a bad name after all. No, wait, it is.
In a moment on X-Play. More great games for the GameCube. They are the monarch of the sea. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. With the Nintendo Wii ready to be born just in time for our holiday shopping pleasure, we're taking a look back at the best games to come out for the GameCube. And here's our pick for number 4. Why is this racetrack full of painfully saccharine Nintendistas plopped on the number 4 slot? Because it's only the most addictive racer on just about any console ever. Mario Kart began its life on the Super Nintendo system, and it was a long time before we saw any kind of follow-up. Apparently, it took so long because they're trying to figure out how to create a GameCube disc out of crack cocaine. Double Dash boils racing down to its purest form. It's fast-paced, colorful, and runs every other multiplayer game on the GameCube right off the road. If you've ever felt the thrill of hitting everyone else on the racetrack with Shrink Lightning, then you understand why this sits proudly at number 4. Cel-shaded graphics, diminutive effeminate elf, this must be the best Zelda game on Nintendo's Cube. Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. When we first laid eyes on the number 3 game on our list, we have to admit we were a little skeptical of the cartoon design of the toe-headed midget. But when we played it, it was pure Zelda. The beautiful design of the game captured the fantasy feel of the franchise. Wind Waker is a living example of the genius that Nintendo is capable of. The distinct nautical theme and perfectly executed gameplay instantly clawed Wind Waker to the top of the GameCube's pile of titles. Of course, it was a relatively small pile. This is the GameCube after all. Wind Waker takes place in Hyrule, but in the distant future after it's been drowned by rising ocean levels. Like that movie Waterworld where Kevin Costner drank his own pee. I'm glad Link never did that.
Are you sure this is bourbon? It sure doesn't taste like it.
Wind Waker was ambitious, expansive, and most importantly, fun. Space. Space is where we first encountered the aliens named Metroid, where we first saw Samus take her helmet off and said, "What the She's a girl?" And space is where we met Metroid Prime, the number 2 best game on the GameCube. For many years, we fought the Metroid Horde in 2D battle, and it was good. But Metroid Prime completely changed that. Suddenly, Samus wreaked havoc in a 3-dimensional world with exotic weapons, unique visor features, and enough female empowerment to send Sigourney Weaver into menopause. Metroid Prime instantly proved itself to be the best first-person shooter on the GameCube, and 4 years later, it still is. But calling it a first-person shooter is like saying Meryl Streep can kind of act. Metroid Prime is also a platformer, a puzzle game, and a marble simulator. I curl into a ball too, but when I do it, it usually involves self-loathing and weeping.
Zelda!
Metroid Prime truly expands the Metroid franchise into a new type of game. It's the best updating of a Nintendo franchise we've ever seen, which is why it's the GameCube's explosive number 2 game.
Link has gone through so much on his journey from love-struck elfin warrior to drunk sketch character drinking his own urine.
We can only hope Link's future on the Nintendo Wii brings an end to his suffering.
I wonder how you end suffering with the Wiimote.
Well, moving up and down the wrist across means you're not serious at all.
Right. But we are serious about bringing you our list of the finest games for the GameCube, and after the break, we've got our pick for number 1.
Worst game to feature a ride based on the 1991 Ron Howard film backdrop this playable minigame. Universal Studios Theme Park Adventures.
Yes, finally, a video game that allows you to experience the wonder and majesty of Universal Studios.
Welcome to Universal Studios.
In this product placement pioneer, you wander around a virtual theme park and pick up trash in order to earn points so you can cut in line to ride the attractions. Gee, what a great advertisement. Come to our vacation destination and do manual labor. When you aren't playing janitor, you can enter the game's tedious trivia contest and answer questions like, what was Axe Adcox's real name in Backdraft? I'm sorry, the correct answer was, who gives a crap?
You need to watch more movies.
Go to hell.
Up next on X-Play, the very best and worst for the GameCube. Feeling sorry for all those turtles. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play's countdown of the very best games for the Nintendo GameCube. Now we've decided to celebrate Jesus giving us a brand new generation of game consoles by remembering all the best titles that came out for the last set of fun machines.
But all titles are not the work of the Lord.
No.
We must also remember those games that come from the dark side. Thus, we count down the worst GameCube games. In third place, Catwoman, a game that never backed down from being as bad as the movie it was based on.
And in second place, a game that wasn't even a game, Pokemon Channel.
And now our pick for the very worst game ever released for the GameCube.
And now the ultimate steaming pile of pixels, your champion, the #1 worst GameCube game, Aquaman Battle for Atlantis.
Yes, nothing says low production value quite like static comic book cutscenes. But sadly, that's par for the course in Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. Are we crazy, or is the king of the ocean wearing a sports bra? Well, at least he doesn't have something sticking out of his pants like Drew Barrymore. In this superhero game, you swim around, punch bad guys, and save mermen. And that's all you do. Oh, and sometimes you summon the spirit of Flipper to come do your job for you. It doesn't help that the source material is incredibly weak. There's no lamer superhero than Aquaman. I mean, his power is communicating with fishes. How often does that come in handy? Well, maybe someone tries to rob a red lobster. You stink, Aquaman. Now go and sleep with the fishes. That glorious golden mane and oh so repetitive gameplay. We'll never forget you, Aquaman.
No matter how much we wish we could. But the Cube has left us with other games we'll never forget. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, X-Play now presents our choice for the single finest game ever released for the GameCube, Resident Evil 4. Few games have captured the attention of X-Play the way Resident Evil 4 has. Maybe it's because of the game's intense first battle.
Who are these people?
Maybe it's because of the awesomely gross cutscenes. Ew. Or maybe it's because every aspect of this game will make you go numb with fear as you desperately dispense round after round into the undead surrounding you. From the beginning, the GameCube had many, many problems. Whether it was the purple lunchbox design or the kitty quality of all the games, Nintendo didn't start on the right foot. But Resident Evil 4 changed all that. This adult-themed scarefest reinvented the survival horror genre for Capcom. Gone are the magically switching cameras, horrible aiming system, and live-action acting from the early games in the franchise.
We don't have much time.
Actually, I still have a soft spot in my heart for those actors. Aww. Had this been a launch title for the GameCube, they may have put up a better fight against Sony and Microsoft. But even so, the little purple lunchbox is worth it for this game alone. Never mind the fact that we've already shown you a list of 9 other amazing titles for the GameCube. Resident Evil 4 stands tall as one of the best titles on any console. Ever.
Oh, excuse me, Your Highness.
Don't believe me? What about the fear of bandage-wrapped, chainsaw-wielding grandmas? Yeah! Or how about the split-second button combinations you'll have to enter during your knife fight? Or the jet ski race against time as you try to escape the exploding island? Let's face it, Resident Evil 4 is the closest the GameCube will come to a religious experience.
and may God bless it.
Yeah. The Cube has been something of an also-ran this generation, but it looks like the Wii may be the star of the new generation.
Nintendo has given us so much joy and whimsy over the years, but there are costs and benefits associated with designing a console with 9-year-old Japanese girls as the target audience.
And this illogical train of thought is brought to you by XPlay.
Us?
Yep.
Oh.